recorded in the Rugby Clubhouse at Johnny's Tavern in Lawrence, Kansas. This is the Jayhawk Rugby Rundown. Hello, and you're very welcome to our very first episode of the Jayhawk Rugby Rundown podcast. This is a new thing that we're trying out to help promote the club, let you guys know what's going on with the KU Rugby Club, and see what kind of questions you have for us eventually, and hopefully we can start to answer those for you. But to start us off on this very first episode, I've got two guests with me who are going to help us knock this out. Trevor Lister and Linc Lechtenberg. So welcome to the podcast, guys.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I want to get started kind of like we do with everything athletic. You got to warm up, loosen up. You can't just run right into the deep end, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is ask you just some really easy, quick questions, one-word response kind of things, and we'll just kind of loosen up and get into this, and
Right on.
then we'll get serious.
There we go. Get into the business there.
Right, exactly. So what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue?
Red and blue.
Red and blue? Crimson and blue?
Crimson and blue specifically.
Like it.
Specifically
Like
crimson.
it. You're playing up for the Jayhawk fan
Oh,
base
yeah.
here.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food or your favorite restaurant?
I'd probably have to go with sushi and Sushi Haru back in my family always goes back in OP, so
Sushi, really?
love it. Love it. We get the variety special, we get the big old boat and everything.
Right on.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'll probably go with burgers and unbiasedly say Johnny's is my favorite restaurant.
What's your favorite burger at Johnny's then?
Oh, I'll have to say to Johnny Wilson.
The Wilson?
Yeah.
Nice. It's a classic one here.
Classic.
Favorite kind of music?
That's tough.
Yeah?
You know, music, it's like, I like everything, and I love different parts, but I guess if I'm wanting to go, it's probably gonna be rock or lay back, probably country, and
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
you know, all of everything.
Right on.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I'm about the same on that. But if I had to say, I think my playlist has rock as a majority.
Mostly rock?
Well, I would say it's probably what it has the most of, yeah.
Right on. Favorite movie? These are supposed to be easy fun.
Red
ones.
Dawn, the original one.
The original
Red
one?
Dawn, the original.
Red Dawn?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Rat Pack and
Oh, yeah.
those guys.
Yeah, that's such a good one.
Wolverines.
I'll probably have to go Revenge of the Sith. I can,
Let's
Star
go.
Wars. Nice.
yeah, I can quote that whole Obi-Wan Anakin fight if it's playing in front of me.
No kidding. You got the whole Red Dawn memorized?
Not quite.
Not quite.
Not quite.
How do you like your steaks cooked?
Medium rare.
Rare.
Only
Rare
rare.
and medium rare.
Yeah.
Purist. No
Yeah.
well done.
No way.
Get the
Yeah.
blood.
Maybe sometimes tartar if you're feeling special.
What's your favorite place to visit? Or where would you like to visit?
Anywhere outside the United States, just because
Okay.
I haven't been, you know, anywhere. I like Australia. It sounds cool with all the
Right.
cool animals. You know, Andy's always talking about.
Right?
But
Place I want to visit, Germany. I want to go there. I've been so close with going to France a few times, but I haven't been in Germany properly yet.
Right on. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
dogs, big
Okay.
dogs.
Right on. If money was no object, what would you buy?
Probably a giant yacht.
Big yacht?
Just a giant yacht.
Sail to Australia.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
A whole bunch of little
Giant.
boats and jet skis and everything.
Oh, I gotta buy myself. Just imagine I have a house. I gotta buy myself just a big old man cave.
Right?
Just for myself.
Pimp it out.
Yeah,
Let's go.
TV, speakers, the works.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
especially those speakers.
Slide it.
What's your favorite curse word?
Oh.
Putting you on the spot now.
Favorite curse word?
Uh-huh.
Probably when Andy calls somebody a penis. And that penis used in the curse word tense.
Right, right.
Oh, I don't know. My girlfriend would probably say I use fuck a lot, though.
It's a good classic one.
Yeah.
Stick with it. So where are you guys from originally?
From Overland Park, right over the way, 45 minutes that way.
Right on.
I'm right from here.
You're from Lawrence
Yep.
original?
Yeah, I'm from Lawrence.
So did you go to Lawrence High or Free State?
Actually, I went to both.
Oh, really?
I went to Free State for 2 years and transferred to LHS.
So you graduated from LHS?
Yeah, I
and then-
graduated from LHS.
And you went to Blue Valley,
Yeah, Blue
which
Valley,
direction?
the
Oh,
original,
the original?
The original, no direction.
Wow.
Blue Valley High. Yeah.
So did you guys get a chance to play rugby in high school when you were there, or is this your first experience with KU?
Well, actually, I'd say my first experience playing rugby would probably be one of those little ones. I don't know when last time I've done it was, but at least when my dad was playing back in the day, they at least like once a year there'd be like one game where they'd have kids of the players play, because the majority of players used to be all like 30 and 40.
Right. It wasn't just college based; it was kind of club community.
Yeah, it was a lot more based that, and then it started dwindle, but now we're kind of going back up.
Very cool.
Mine was probably, I didn't know about it till sophomore year, and then Blue Valley had a thing where it was a club team with all their schools combined, all the Blue Valley schools combined, and now it's Blue Valley, Olathe, a couple different ones, but when I was there, it was all the Blue Valley schools. And I kind of started off, my brother's like, hey, go do this. I'm the offensive line and defensive line. He's like, you can run the ball. I'm like, oh, you're going to run the ball? Hell yeah. So
Right.
Jumped straight into it. And then, we started recruiting all the football guys from Blue Valley. And, the little Aquinas Blue Valley thing kind of formed. And we're like,
Right.
these guys from Aquinas, and we want to go destroy them every time. So we just recruited all the football guys. And,
Right.
And then we had a pretty good team my junior year, and then senior year got cut short because of COVID. But
Sure.
that was the first experience. First time I ever even heard about rugby. But
Sophomore in high school. Very cool. So one of the things that you're trying to do to recruit new high school players is you had a bunch of people out to your house last week just to kind of play around.
Yeah, we're just kind of feeling things out, and we kind of want to get our name and make sure. When everyone kind of thinking, oh, well, maybe where should I go to college? Like, oh, well, I did that one thing for KU that one time. Those guys seem pretty cool. They had a good time, and kind of show them a little bit, how we like to play rugby and how we like to, have fun off the field, and kind of to show that we're out here trying to have fun. And so we had mostly guys from St. James and Aquinas, and we were out there, played 10 games, 7s, a whole bunch of games. We're exhausting ourselves, and then Matt O'Donnell used to be the head coach of Blue Valley, and now he works for working with the KU team, and he was out there on the grill flipping the burgers, and we went over and had a little feast and just chatting and kind of ended that way. But it was a good time.
Very cool. Did you get any guys that had never played before to come out, or were they all
not never played, but most of them were really young. Most of them said sophomores sophomores and around there. So
right on.
Yeah.
So what made you two decide to come to KU? Because you're very local, and you're of course just down the road here. So is KU always going to be where you went to school, or?
Kind of. Both my parents went here, and both my parents went here. And my brother went to K-State, and I was like, definitely can't do that. So I was like, it's either KU or somewhere else, and I was just like, KU's going to be the place.
Right.
And
so it wasn't a rugby decision; it was a school decision. Then, what about you, Linc?
It was just a school decision for me. My mom went here. My grandpa until recently taught engineering there.
Oh, cool.
Most people I knew just kind of went there, and I was like, it's right here. If I have to go somewhere else for graduate school, then so be it. But it's looking like I'll do my graduate here.
What are you studying right now?
Right now, I'm doing pharmacy prerequisites.
Okay.
And so in August, I'm going to apply for the School of Pharmacy at KU, and then next year I'll be in that program.
So you're going to be a senior this fall? Is that right? Or at least
no, the pharmacy prerequisites is a 2-year program, so I'm going to be a sophomore.
Sophomore this fall?
Yes.
And what are you studying?
Sports management.
Okay.
Sports management. Yeah.
Very cool. And you're going to be a junior?
Yep.
That's right. So Chandler just graduated with a degree in sports management, right? Chandler Owens, who is off chasing his MLR dreams right now.
Killing it right now.
It's very cool. One of the things I haven't mentioned yet, of course, Chandler was a former captain. You recently got elected to be captain of the team for the 22-23 year. So did you have a conscious decision that you wanted to step up and be captain? Did it just kind of happen because the other guys picked you?
I kind of was just, we're all out there in the field, and not one guy. This is a huge thing, and for all the pieces to work, it can't just be from one guy. So this past year, kind of saw Chandler working, saw everybody else working, and we all worked super well together, and the whole club just seemed like it was clicking, and it just kind of I feel like it just kind of fell to pieces. That
Right.
I fell into that role, but everybody in the club just puts so much effort in. So I don't know. It's a title, but just a title, and everyone works super well together, and we're all
Right.
done. But
So the annual general meeting we had back a couple months ago, which is where you got elected, you were unanimous because you didn't have any opposition.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted you. What about Trevor made you want to have him as your captain for this year?
I mean, well, he was the only one that ran, but
So that makes it an
if
easy
someone-
decision in some ways.
I mean, if someone else ran, I'd probably still go with Trevor. He's probably the most qualified, the person that does the most on field leadership and off field leadership. Because kind of have to do both to be team captain.
So how do you see your leadership style working? Do you have it defined yet? Because it's only been, what, a month maybe or something like that?
I like to think is inspiration and having fun. Just
Leading by example.
Exactly,
kind of
leading
thing.
by example, and just just want everybody to be out there and pushing to improve themselves and have a good time.
Right.
So, and I feel like you got one guy that's kind of leading the way on how to do that. Everyone else follows, and we have a great time together. So,
Right on.
inspiration and having fun.
So what are you looking forward to this year coming up, either in a leadership role or as a player, member of the team? What are the guys looking for, do you think?
Well, personally, I'd like to keep getting more involved in the field management side of things with what I've been doing. Luckily, we haven't had to do too much since we've been getting rain this summer.
Right.
But once it turns fall, I'll have to be doing some more stuff. I mean, I already know how to work a bunch of stuff. Just gotta get out there,
Yeah. Like you were saying, it's kind of an all hands on deck. There's so many elements going on
many
that
parts.
there's
Yeah.
some way for everybody to get involved, whether it's field maintenance or running some of the business aspects, the accounting, the money stuff. Where do you see the team?
Well, obviously last year we came up like 5 meters short, quite literally.
Yeah.
Came up 5 meters short, quite literally. So, I think any kind of bits and pieces that we can just push a little further, and
Right.
because I think it's doesn't need to be spoken goal. That
Right.
what we have for this year is to finish the job.
Because wasn't there a conversation at the beginning of last year, like what are your team goals for this
Team
year?
goals.
And I think you said national championship or something like that, and people
Yeah.
kind of laughed, like, yeah,
Yeah.
right. But then it happened.
No,
And
it
you
happened.
guys, worked your asses off, and things happened the right way.
And I feel like for at least the last 2 weeks of practice, kind of felt a little different than the rest of the season. Kind of felt like, wow, man, this can happen.
Mhm.
Like we can get this done. So I think taking that mentality into the first week of practice, the summer, taking that into the summer and doing these things or the high school stuff, and taking that mentality and just going, just putting everything out there.
Mhm.
I think we'll be able to accomplish much more than we did last.
Big challenges coming up. You
Yeah.
guys face serious challenges in your past? You think of any examples and how you overcame them? Is there some application
Personally or
from
rugby wise,
whatever you got? Yeah, whether it's sports or something else that you want to think of. How do you overcome these challenges? How have you done it in the past?
I'd say personally for any kind of challenge that's came to me, it's kind of put your head down and push through it.
Okay.
So, you know what it's going to take to get done, right? You know
Right.
what you have to do to get the job done. So you just got to push your head and get through it. And you get set back, you look at it as an opportunity to improve greater.
Right.
So, yeah, just put your head down and grind on through.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Biggest challenge for me was conditioning last year.
Okay.
I hadn't done any sports since middle school, and I was a bit of a lazy fuck.
Right.
I couldn't even do one push up, and after that, I've been able to actually feel good about my physical condition for
Awesome.
once in my life. Yeah, so rugby's been pretty good for me.
So we have done a bit of a reorganization with how students lead the club and the interactions with the university and the responsibilities for the club, where it's still, of course, student run, but we have mentors, coaches, supporters, alumni, everybody else helping out. How do you see that working? Will it be better? Is it going to be something that takes some time to build? What are your...
Well, I love that. We've always talked like all hands on deck. Like,
Mhm.
it takes a village, and we have 60 guys, and we can do a hell of a lot with 60 guys.
Right.
So I kind of like how it's not just, oh, Link, you're in charge of this one thing. It's gonna be this huge task. You'll have
Yeah.
like 5 guys that are
Right.
helping you out, and when you're tackling a small problem with 8 guys,
Mhm.
gone. And it's like,
Yeah.
you gotta go through it quick.
Mhm.
So I think the committee's gonna be awesome,
Very cool.
especially with the mentors too.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it'll be nice, but I think it may potentially take a while for it to get going a little bit.
Yeah, lots of problems.
Yeah, there's definitely sometimes problems with having people show up to their jobs. Just sometimes, but besides that, once we got people going, and it should be pretty good.
Are you mentoring something?
I am. I'm
Which
working
one?
with Mason Enos on the business secretary stuff.
There we go.
So-
Are you excited for that?
Oh yeah, we've been working already. So.
Let's go.
Sweet.
He's a good guy to work with.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely so. So I agree with you, Link. Anytime you change something, it's never going to be as fast as you think it will, or maybe as fast as you want it sometimes. But
Mhm.
I think it's putting us on the right path
I
Yeah.
for
agree.
sure.
I definitely
You
agree.
know, it isn't one of those things where I know in the past it's been just kind of the adults leading the student athletes, and that doesn't work. And then sometimes when it's just you guys, especially with you being so busy and maybe you haven't had experience doing these jobs before and don't
Things fall
know.
through the cracks.
Right. So I think this is a pretty good balance of the
Yeah.
two that'll work out and
Mhm.
help out with everything. No
For
doubt
sure.
about it.
For sure.
But yeah, it might take a minute before it gets rolling and on its best footing.
Mhm.
So is there some sort of summer workout program thing that you guys individually are doing or the team's working on together or?
Well, I've been playing for the Blues a little bit and just running on the side,
Uh-huh.
but not really. I've been actually out of the gym a lot more than
Right.
than I used to be. But it's good and bad parts. I'm running a lot, so I'm getting a lot faster. But
Right.
the bad parts might be losing some strength, but also maybe I'm letting my body heal. After a
True.
growing rugby season. But
Well, it was kind of a long season this last year because usually it's just kind of a fall thing and we play our conference tournament in November.
Mhm.
But you guys ended up winning.
Yeah.
So of course then you have to keep playing the more you keep winning.
you have to keep
Yeah.
playing.
Right, that's terrible.
Right.
Same thing with you. Have you
Well, personally, I personally am just not the type of person to do too much on the field side of things. I mean, I like playing rugby,
right?
but I am never gonna be like Trevor.
Sure you can, man.
I personally am not up for it.
Yeah.
So for the most part, I just kind of do maintenance on my body.
Uh-huh.
I don't do too much. Just kind of how I am.
So it's the social side, the team, the guys, everything
Yeah, I do.
else.
Yeah, I do really like the social side. But just past season, I just barely missed getting an 80-minute. I think I was out for about 5-10 minutes.
Right.
So it was like, ugh. But I was very happy about that.
Awesome. Very cool. Social side going to continue
Oh
for everybody. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any way of stopping that even?
no.
No.
I didn't think so.
I think the whole rugby side might stop before the social side.
Yeah, right. I can see that happen. That's kind of an integral part of
Yeah.
the rugby experience,
Yeah.
all the guys and everything else that's going on. So, one of the challenges, of course, Chandler, Reed Parsons, Spencer Glazier, international guys like Tom Richards and Fraser Brand are gone.
Yeah.
That's going to change your style of play. Like if you happen to watch the College Shield game last Saturday, Chandler Owens kicked the ball 80 meters plus and totally flipped the game a couple of times. We don't have that anymore. So what kind of style are we going to be playing coming forward? It's not going to be the end of the rugby side, of
We're
course.
gonna have to kind of figure out how our physical abilities our rugby IQ, figure out how all that comes into play, from 1 through 15 or 1 through 23 or whatever, at 23, kind of figure out how we're going to be successful. Because last year we relied on Chandler, giving us massive kicks, and he's from the national championship game especially. He's giving us massive kicks, good field position. Spencer hitting it hard, Reed fast on the edge. The international guys doing what they do, and
Right.
Rugby, it's just a big old puzzle, and everyone putting in different pieces. So we're just gonna have to figure out kind of how we're gonna have to do it our way. How the 2022 year is gonna have to do it. And, replacing those guys is gonna be tough, but manageable.
Sure. See, that's an issue with the college side that the club side doesn't have, because club side isn't limited to kids that are in school or anything else.
Well, no, not really, but I personally struggle with club side is that usually we're stuck with going against the older teams like the Blues.
Right.
I think college side plays them, but we usually do that.
You guys always get the gritty men's club.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Smash and beat.
They're playing the little freshman 18-year-olds. You guys are playing the hard 30-year-old guys that have been doing this for decades. And
yeah, but I think we'll have some club side that we had last year move over to college. I think Andrew Hawk's team would probably go over since he is going to KU now.
Yeah, that's one of the awesome things. This club keeps continuing to grow. We're getting 40 guys an average of practice.
Yeah.
Some days it's more, some days it's less, especially if it's cold or people are hungover or whatever. Not coming out. So how do we keep that going on? Because the club feeds the college feeds the club. You guys are all in this together. So
I think the biggest part is exposure, because obviously we have something pretty awesome.
Uh-huh.
I put that on the line. We have, you look around, we got this place,
right?
Johnny's.
Yeah.
We got the clubhouse, which is awesome, and then we have awesome stuff going on the field. Tons of great guys like you, Andy, Jason, Billy, all of our supporters, Matt, and everybody. And we've such a cool thing going on. But like we had a foreign guy come last semester, Angel, and he didn't even know about rugby until he had to leave in 2 weeks and came and go play. But there's just we have so much awesome stuff to offer. We just got to make sure people know about it. And when people know, they'll come, their friends will come, and then we'll just keep on growing, keep on getting bigger and bigger. Be awesome.
Yeah. You guys have any questions for each other, by the way? I mean, it doesn't just have to be me firing questions at you.
Yeah.
But it's an open conversation, so we can do that. So fall camp starts Monday, August 15th.
Yes.
Which time of recording is about 6 weeks or so, a little less. You have any of your regrets from last year that are kind of sticking in your mind that you're itching to come back this fall and fix, get back at?
Actually, yeah. For first half of last spring semester, I fell behind in school a bit. I do regret that because it prevented me from coming to games for like 2.5 months.
So getting kind of organized and everything straightened out. Do you think playing rugby makes it easier or more difficult to keep your life organized? Because I've heard, people who are looking from the outside probably say rugby can be a pretty big commitment. 2-3 practices a week, games on the weekends, everything else going on, plus your school, plus your work, plus your personal life, everything else going on. Other people say it actually helps me to become more disciplined and focus more. How do you find it?
Personally, I guess I find it a little bit in between. It really depends on my other stuff going on, mainly school, because it's STEM classes. But I personally do think that rugby did help a lot of discipline of me at least taking care of myself, and also me getting better at scheduling. I mean, I'm not able to go to everything, but it helps you figure out where you can put things so you can go where you want to when you can.
Kind of agree. I feel like the practices and the games kind of set like little timelines almost, where they're I got this amount of homework and I gotta get done before Tuesday, or I gotta get this done before Thursday, or we got a game, I'm traveling this weekend, so I know I'm not gonna have a lot of time, so it kind of helps me get a lot more things done.
You guys aren't just wild partying all the time, skipping classes, playing rugby, doing whatever else. Yeah, I think that's kind of a misconception. hearing from some of the old guys, maybe they're just thinking about it through those rose-colored glasses. Back when I was a kid, that's all we did was, run around, party, and go play rugby. But
Yeah, they're probably doing that, and also thinking of the tours. The
Yeah.
tours get crazy. I was on South Africa when I was 13. Probably shouldn't have been. Thinking
I wish
back
I
on it.
could have gone on that.
No, just being 13, I'm just like around all of these like 30, 40-year-old drunk guys all the time. That's pretty much what it is. 24/7, there's at least some kind of alcohol in
Playing
there.
rugby.
yeah, well, that's the older guys too. They were
Yeah.
30s and 40s at the time. It's a little different, I think, with you guys being, college age and in school,
Yeah.
probably too.
Yeah, you can't just, and you also to play college side or whatever, you got to
Right.
be enrolled in KE and you got to
Right.
pass the
Yeah.
classes. So
Right.
Yeah.
kind of keeps you in check.
Yeah.
And then we have honor roll. A lot of guys like to strive for.
Mhm.
Make grip posts every. Yeah.
So you mentioned a tour,
Yeah.
South Africa, when you were 13. So not quite 10 years ago or whatever it is.
It was it was like 13 or something. It was the 2013 one. What about it?
2013.
Yeah.
So yeah, haven't been on a tour in a few years because of COVID and everything
Yeah.
else. Anybody been talking about a tour coming up for
Yeah.
not this summer but next summer of 23?
I think we do have one planned.
I've heard a few rumors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard a few things. I don't really quite remember. I just get to overhear, and sometimes there's meetings in my house. So,
Yeah. You guys acting like you're closed-lipped here. You don't want to share too many. Confirm or deny. I think it's pretty safe to say that we are going somewhere next summer, though.
Yeah.
That's true. Where it is, we're still locking down, I think. But
Yes.
getting back to having that experience, you talking about traveling internationally.
Because when I was first coming in, it was supposed to be Australia. That I think that first year I was here, but COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
COVID screws up everything, so couldn't do that. but,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm definitely pumped up. I think it's gonna be sweet. I would have loved to been on that South Africa. That'd be awesome.
That
Yeah.
would have been really cool. No doubt about it. So, a few regrets from last year. Ideas of what's going on this next year. What are your final kind of thoughts or plans for what needs to happen here? It's over the next few weeks going into the fall and then through the fall. What are you going to be looking at? Goals, benchmarks?
I think for right now, for the summer, it needs to be, physical fitness, so we
Mhm.
get that out of the way. And when we hop into our training, all we can focus on is playing rugby.
Right.
And I think that should be a big goal. And then, like I was saying earlier, I feel like that those last 2 weeks were like, oh my God, like we're going, we can do this, we can do this. And it felt super motivating. And I felt through a lot of the season, there was some practices where maybe a few guys wouldn't show up and people would be like,
Right.
God, I gotta be out here in the cold or
Right.
hot or whatever. But I think keeping that mentality that, oh my God, we can do great things. We can do all the, keeping that mentality all the way through the start in August all the way through back to
Right.
May or whatever. That needs to happen.
Because, of course, coming so close to, winning that final game, it's kind of a bummer. Everybody's disappointed. You wanted to win it and everything else. You think everybody's kind of gotten past that and they're ready to come back, or do you think there's still some hesitation? Or
I think as soon as the whistle blew,
yeah,
everybody looked up at the scoreboard,
yeah,
knew we came up short, and I think at least for all the guys that were returning, said, "Oh shit, here we go again."
right.
Yeah.
Ready to get back at it.
Yeah.
Very cool. You have any long-term plans next 10 years, whether it's on the field, on the pitch, or not?
I plan on staying around.
Yeah.
I personally want to slowly just work up more on the administrative side. That's my kind of deal.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
You want to stay with the social side with rugby?
Oh yeah, of course I want to stay social
Yeah.
side too, and still play every once in a while.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think I want to. Nothing set in stone right now, but I want to try to play as rugby as long as I can.
Sure.
For the first few years of my life, my body will let me. So
Right.
I think I'm going to try to make it in the MLR
Right.
as much as I can. But
You've got kind of a pathway Chandler's
yeah,
working
I
on
just
right
got to
now.
follow in old Chandler's
Right.
footsteps, and then we'll be there.
Groundbreaking. That's
Yeah.
really cool. Guys, I appreciate your spending some time to chat with me and letting everybody out there hear what you have to say and see it. We are putting this up on YouTube. We're putting this up on Spotify, Apple Music Podcasts, and all kinds of other platforms. So you should be able to find this wherever you want.
Sweet.
And of course, Griff's gonna post this on our social medias, and you'll be able to find links and everything like that up there. So That's it.
Right
Thanks a
on.
lot, guys.
Let's go.
All right. See you later.
Sweet.
See you later.